It's going to be freezing rain tonight.
That's what it says. 7 to 9 o'clock.
Lean in, baby. Lean in.
Leaning in.
He's leaning in. Morning, guys. Thought we'd have you over for coffee. Lean in, baby. They have to see you. They have to see you.
They don't want to look at me.
Yes, they do. Anyway, I thought I'd invite you for our 3 o'clock coffee in the morning before Clay goes to work. Yesterday I didn't get my nap, so I was like a 2-year-old. Was I crabby?
See my rooster cup. Can't find them anymore.
I know, my hair's sticking up. The pearls of the hair.
There you go.
Well, anyway, I thought I'd have some morning coffee with you, which I left my coffee on the other side of the room, but that's okay. So I wanted to show you the blankets I'm crocheting, because while Clay was in the hospital every other day, I was in the waiting room for hours and hours, so I thought... Crocheting. I crocheted hats, I crocheted stuff. So now that I can sit home, I am making a couple blankets. I wanted to see which one you guys liked better. Believe me, I won't take an insult because I make all kinds of stuff. So this is one. I wanted to make things look springy.
It's kind of hard to see. There you go.
There you go. This one is a big granny square. I'll put up some videos on how to crochet, and even the boys can learn how to crochet. Clay can crochet. He doesn't crochet, but he does sew. Hey, have you guys, I thought of this, have you guys ever seen the movie Overboard? That's Clay and I. He's the guy that took me, I'm the girl that was the business girl and did all the stuff, and he took me out, and he didn't know any better, and he made me work like a horse. Yeah. My family couldn't understand it there, but it's enjoyable. I love it. I love living on a farm. So I'm teasing him, but...
It's not a big farm. It's a backyard farm.
It gave me purpose and meaning in my life.
Backyard farms are
yeah, it's a backyard
small
farm.
animals and vegetables.
It's a backyard farm. And then this is the other blanket I'm making. So which one do you like better?
I like my blanket better.
This Clay claimed this one, which is a single stitch zigzag. The other one's a granny square. So I am in crochet heaven.
I don't
here.
like the blankets with the holes in them. I like a solid blanket. If I want to get covered up, I want to be warm. I don't want to have air. Of course, the ones with the holes in them allow you to breathe, your body to breathe.
They're good for the summer. Speaking about warm, yesterday I took a bath because, you know, we told you it was
for the first
cold.
time in a year. No.
Stop it. Well, what I did was, usually because it's cold in that part of the house, because the way the system is, Clay has extra good heaters in the house. And they blast us right out.
But she gets cold, turns the heat up, and then forgets she's got it on.
And so he wakes up in the middle of the night.
I woke up at 1 o'clock in the morning and sweating like crazy.
And I didn't say this to Clay, but last time I'm like, why am I so hot?
Yeah, it was hot last night.
And I turned it up just because what happened was I have to, because of this heating unit thing he bought, I have to turn off the washer when I run the washer. And I forgot. And if I don't, it blows a fuse.
It pops the breaker.
So I popped the breaker.
And then she didn't know how to turn it back on.
Well, this house used to be, what, a gas station or something?
It used to be the old general store back in the early 1900s, I guess.
And then it was a gas station. And
well, I don't know if it had gas. It might have been a gas station.
I thought you told me it was a gas station.
It was a general store.
So Clay kind of rebuilt the whole house, but the heat in this house is fantastic. But
she leaves it on at night. If it gets more than 65 to 70, I'm sweating to death. And it was 74 when I got up at 1 o'clock in the morning.
Because I thought, well, because the heat, I didn't know if I could turn the heat on.
I kept throwing the blankets out. I couldn't understand why it was so hot in that bedroom.
And
it's usually cool in the bedroom. That's why I like it nice and cool, because you can cover up with the blankets and regulate with the blankets. When it's hot, you can't regulate anything. It's like summertime.
And last night I drank cocoa, and I'm like, why am I so hot? Well, these are all the things that have been going on, too. My son started a new job, so he was moving his stuff around, so he had all that mess. Plus, my mother is moving, so she had all this, this is a good subject, she had all this expired food. And, which is, you know, my mom's 84, and that's fine, but she gave us, like, I don't know, like maybe 300.
Eight or 10 bags of groceries.
It was all expired, but we have no.
Expiring as of, say, December 2014. It was only a month or so older, and they were canned goods. It wasn't like it was crackers or frozen food or anything like that. It was all canned goods.
Well, since I moved out to the country and I'm a lot closer.
I've worked in a canning factory for over 20 some years, and the expiring dates are only from the government to regulate how long it should be on the shelf for human consumption on the consumer's end. It doesn't mean it's bad. It just means that they have a set time that it can be on the shelf.
Well,
canned goods. If you make pickles and you can them yourself, they'll last you a couple of years. I mean, you don't have to go by an expiration date of 9 months or 10 months or whatever. So, but Mama doesn't want to take a chance. But she's 80 some years old.
Well,
she's used to that.
My whole family will.
If the can is bloated and swelled up, yeah, get rid of it. But if it looks like it's rusted, yeah, don't use it.
I'm all German. We're germophobic too.
The can looks perfectly fine, and the tops and bottoms are sucked in where they're supposed to be with a vacuum. Your chances are it's not bad food. You just have to look over your food. If the edge of the can, which we call the chime, you see the edge of the can here? Well, if it's dented this way on this chime, you're taking your chances. But if it's dented on the side of the can, when you go to the store and there's a dent on the side, that's perfectly fine. It's just up on the chime of where they crimp this together in the canning machine.
I think what was an eye-opener for me was when I moved into this community. Everyone's involved with the food industry, and I learned a lot about food, and I learned that food is way.
I was a closing machine mechanic for 22 years, and closing machine mechanic is the people that put the top on the can and crimp the edges with the machine, your cover hook, body hook, overlap, and that's what I did for a living, so I know all about that. And as long as that chime and that seam is good, your chances of having spoilage is almost nil. As long as that top of that, I'm just using this for an example. If it was a can of green beans, if your cover is mounded up, that means there's spoilage inside the can. But if it's sucked in, I mean, that's got a good vacuum to it. And the expiration date is the government telling you that it's mainly so that you'll throw it out and buy new. And if you hung on to all the food that was still good in the can, the government wouldn't make any money, the stores wouldn't make any money, you'd have cupboards full of food that was still good, and people wouldn't be going to the store every week. And that's their way of making money. And if they can put an expiring date of 6 months on it, when you could probably keep it for a year and a half, 2 years, just because the can's still in good shape. I'm not saying this is the way with boxed goods or any of that stuff, or vegetables or anything like that, but if it's in a can or in a jar and the top is sealed and the top is sucked in, the expiration date, yeah, use it up first, but it doesn't mean just because, oh, September 14, we throw it out in September. It's crazy. It's a waste of food and money, and if you're frugal at all, you wouldn't be doing that. There's people on the street that are starving. They'd look forward to you giving. If you handed those canned goods to someone on the street that was living under a bridge, I don't think you'd have a problem with them accepting them, because it's food and it's not spoiled. and they wouldn't die from it.
It's actually a new way of thinking too, because I know from my background, I would never do that. I think, why are those people doing
And
that?
that's what they drum in your head, is that, oh, it's expired. The date is, that's the final count. If it says September of 15, you better use it up before September 15 or you're going to die. That's the kind of
Well, it's like
attitude that they put into your head as a child, and you grow up thinking this stuff. So, I mean,
it's like when we got, oh, my camera just it's
camera
like
went off.
no, the thing went blank.
Went to sleep.
Well, it's like when I married Clay. My mom said, Ruthie, it's going to be like living
with the Amish, and
it is, yeah, but it is true though. It's a different way of life.
Frugal farming life.
It's just a smarter way. It's like,
if you've got a bag of onions, and
we do have to be quick though.
If you have a 100-pound bag of onions, and you're only going to be able to eat 20 pounds of them, dehydrate the other 80 pounds. I mean, why let them rot in the bag when you can use them later on?
Well,
it's just frugal living and smart living, actually.
It's the way our parents lived. Yeah, everything wasn't instant.
It's the way my parents lived. You took and saved all the stuff. You didn't let things rot and
you didn't go grocery shopping every day. Go out to eat every day.
You don't buy a bunch of canned goods and throw it out just because they're only good for 6 months.
My daddy did. My daddy was like that. But the girls in the family and everything, oh, it's expired. My dad would eat stuff and we'd be like, oh, he's going to die.
Well,
and
this is Clay and Ruthie from
yes.
our morning coffee talk. And hopefully you've learned something as far as outdated food. Yeah, if it's cookies or something like that, yeah, go by the expiration date. Cereal, yes. Canned goods.
Don't eat stale food.
Canned goods,
food.
jar goods. You know, don't take it to heart that September is the last day you can eat it when it's October 4th.
Yeah, don't get
crazy.
Right.
Just when you bring your groceries home, mark the tops.
That's what we did.
September 15, October 14, whatever the date is on the expiration. And then you just use that up first.
And if it tastes yucky, we don't eat it. If it's like stale, it's like out to the chickens it goes. So, sorry.
This is Clay and Ruthie. Join us again. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.